Okay, part 2 of our cleaning video here is we're looking from the back side. You can see our tape roller here. Walking through the different stations is our pre-mill, and that shaves down the front of the board so it's smooth. Coming back over here is where our glue station, that's where it applies the glue. And then we have our triple rollers here, our big one that applies pressure, and the other two that kind of guide it and help it along as well. So you can see how nice and clean these are. As you run the Edgebander, or as it kind of goes, you'll see it could possibly build up some residue there. You want to make sure they're always free and clear. These ones are really in pretty good shape, other than a couple little shavings here and there, but you can kind of tell. You'll see after when you run it how that affects the board. But you can see here everything's clear of shavings, periodically blown off every now and then. It does build up pretty good, and you don't want to have anything clogging the machine. So going a little bit further, in the first video we showed you the front and back trimmers, and that's this here. What this does is when the machine starts, it'll follow the board along it and then cut the front and the back, and there's one on the bottom as well. Okay, we always want to make sure that this is all free and clear of shavings as well. Our next station is our bottom and top trimmer, and what we have here is this is where it sucks in from the dust collection. This is probably the one that tends to get clogged up the most. So we want to make sure we can stick our finger in there, bring out any residue. And normally I like to clean those. The inside of the machine I like to clean out about 2, maybe 3 times even throughout the day, just to spray out the shavings, make sure everything's clean in here, and kind of go from there. The next one, this is our bottom trimmer, this is our top trimmer, and this one too, this is the wheel that kind of guides along the panel. So what that does is it guides along the panel and it shows where to trim the top. So we want to make sure that this wheel here is also free and clear of debris. You can see this is nice and clean. As you run the machine, it'll start getting kind of glue spots and things like that on it. You could always take some goof off, a little rag, and just wipe that clean, or even just with your fingernail. Sometimes I just go through here even with my fingernail and scrape it off. It takes about 2 seconds. And that's basically that station there. So those are the things that we want to look for to keep clean. Periodically, we also want to check our buffers and just make sure that they're soft and there's no glue buildup, because a lot of times what will happen is if you get a lot of glue or kind of like any mistakes, or sometimes the Edgebander misses, it could those kind of wipe up a lot of glue, and we got to kind of make sure we sand these down. But that's periodically. That's probably you know, maybe every few months or whatnot. The main parts in here are really the bottom and top trimmer. Another piece that actually builds up a lot of residue here is you'll get some stringy glue. You'll see a little bit here. The guys probably did a decent job of cleaning it as well, but you can see that around this nut here, that glue will kind of start half drying, and it kind of strings itself along here. So we want to make sure that that bolt and nut is clear. Sometimes it'll be totally white, filled with glue residue. So we want to make sure that's clear, as well as the front here. This one doesn't gain as much, but it does kind of get that stringy glue residue that we want to keep off the cutters as well. So basically, in a nutshell, that's how we clean, or at least the things to keep clean, to go through, and it's basically just blowing things off, making sure there's no shavings, and making sure anything that touches the board is free and clear of glue residue or glue spots. And that's pretty much it.